Hey, today we're going to be utilizing Gardevoir in the Hoenn Cup. Why? Well, it has Charm and there's not a lot of answers to it. And if utilized correctly, it can absolutely sweep teams as players are not ready for it. Now, in order to make Gardevoir work, it needs to have shields. In order to have shields, it needs to be hidden in the back. And in order to let it sweep, you need to be able to draw out its counters and get rid of them so that Gardevoir can do that. So in order to build a team around it, we're going to go ahead and have Defense Form Deoxys on the lead. It has a lot of great matchups, and the Pokemon that it does lose to, most commonly is Sableye, Gardevoir hard covers it. We're also going to use Pelipper as a safe swap. Pelipper has a lot of great matchups as well in this meta, and it can potentially draw out Pokemon like Registeel that decide to swap into it with our Defense Form Deoxys lead. So here's the team: Defense Form Deoxys, Gardevoir, and Pelipper. Let me know what you guys think. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Sableye on the lead. Tough lead. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Pelipper right away and get ahead on energy. Now, they're deciding to stay in, which is pretty interesting. So they might be leaking the back to Pelipper, so we're going to go ahead and let this go. Sorry. And seeing as they're still staying in, all right, we're going to go ahead and build up to that Hurricane and go for double Weather Ball. Now, what this is making me think is maybe there's a Medicham in the back as well, and they don't really want to swap into it, which means Gardevoir is going to have a very, very good time. Now, we do get a shield right there with Weather Ball, and we land the next one. This is perfectly fine because Shadow Charm does so much damage. Just watch this. They're going to... Yeah, Shadow Charm, watch out guys, it does so much. In comes a Shadow Swampert, and look at this thing, already below, or it's at 50%, but with the fast move that snuck through, it's below 50% HP, which means we can fully farm down. Again, Shadow Gardevoir works if you have 2 shields for it. We already used one. If Sableye comes back in, it's done. What's going to come in? It's a Medicham, so their whole team is extremely weak to Shadow Gardevoir. What we're going to look to do here is actually swap out now into Defense Form Deoxys. We need to save Shadow Gardevoir with a shield in order to take down that Sableye. Defense Form Deoxys right here can do well against Medicham, but this has been a common thing I was seeing. There's really not a lot of great answers that are meta, right? Registeel is probably, if you're thinking about all the meta Pokemon out there that can do well against Shadow Gardevoir, Registeel is really the only one that comes to mind. Everything else is going to get chunked by Charm. And even then, you're going to see a Shadow Gardevoir in this video just fast move down a Registeel. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're going to go ahead and just farm down the Medicham and then go for the Thunderbolt now against Sableye, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. But buckle up, everyone. Shadow Gardevoir has been unleashed. This Pokemon is just so good in this meta. All right, we got Defense Form Deoxys versus Registeel in the lead. This is the ideal lead for us, and they decide to swap into Altaria, so we're going to go ahead and come in with the Shadow Gardevoir. Now, a safe swap Altaria is very interesting. My first thought is they did this to be able to draw out maybe a Walrein or a Charmer, which makes me think that there might be a Sableye in the back, and I'm going to play to that. I have seen this team. It was in yesterday's video as well, a Registeel, Sableye, and Altaria. It is something that has been common that I've seen. We go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball, and they let it go through! I'm shielding this Gardevoir. We are going to Charm down because if there is a Sableye in the back, that thing is about to get deleted by Charm right here as we take down the Registeel, and the final Pokemon is a Sableye! Look at the Charm damage, absolutely destroying. Now, the game's not over. Sableye has a good amount of health, and it has 2 shields. So we're in a very dangerous situation right here. I gotta come in with Defense Form Deoxys and look to apply some shield pressure with the Psycho Boost. I also have to swap out now because they threw the Foul Play, and I don't want to get farmed down. So I'm going to be throwing the Psycho Boost first, and then I'm going to swap out into Pelipper, and I should be able to win this with fast moves. Wing Attack just does just enough damage where we're getting them low enough where I should be able to survive this return, which it is going to be a return. We should be able to just survive and fast move down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. We still have our Deoxys. All right, moving to the next one. We got Deoxys on the lead versus Sableye again. They're everywhere. Swapping into the Pelipper right away. They decide to swap into Walrein, and this is a very unique situation for us where the Walrein takes so much damage from our Hurricane that if they don't shield, beautiful, we can safely flip this. All we need to do is shield one Icicle Spear. Because it only does neutral damage to us because of our water flying typing, we can safely shield one and let this next one go through and then just fast move farm down, and we have tons of energy. Now, my guess is that there's a Registeel in the back as well, and sure enough, there is. So we're going to go ahead and go for back-to-back Weather Ball, and this is a good game, very well played. Pelipper flipping that mid-game matchup is going to be so devastating for the opponent because they're not going to be able to recover from the Shadow Charm damage as they do fast move down our Pelipper, which is fine. I can bring in Defense Form Deoxys right here and just look to counter down. No need to give up a shield. Shadow Gardevoir can take it from here. We know there's a Sableye in the back, so we let the Zap Cannon go through. They swap in the Sableye, and in comes the Shadow Gardevoir, just shredding apart the Sableye. We're going to go ahead and shield the Foul Play as well. And then we're going to charm down the Registeel, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. There's nothing they can do. This charm damage is so much. We still have Defense Form Deoxys in the back. They do not have enough health to take out Gardevoir and take out Defense Form Deoxys. So they go for the Focus Blast, which is so heavily resisted. We're Fairy Psychic, and it did nothing. Good game. All right, we got Deoxys versus Medicham here on the lead. Now, this is interesting. Our whole team beats Medicham, but what I have found when playing this matchup is I actually need to keep Defense Form Deoxys alive and swap into the Pelipper in the mid game here. So what we need to do, and you guys are going to see, I think the rest of this video is Medicham leads because I saw it so often. We get a shield there, which it then also tells me they're weak in the back, right? There could be a Walrein, there could be a Registeel back there. So we're going to let this next Ice Punch go through and now swap out into Pelipper and get ahead on energy. They're going to go ahead and swap out, and it's going to be an Altaria, which is fine by me. That's already 2 Pokemon, extremely weak to Charm, and thankfully Hurricane does a lot of neutral damage. So we're going to go ahead and throw that. They decide to give up a shield, and I'm like, they are asking for the Gardevoir sweep right now. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. We're going to give all shields to Shadow Gardevoir. I don't care if there's a Registeel in the back. It's going to get deleted by Shadow Ball and Charm. So we're going to come in with the Shadow Gardevoir and Charm down. This is beautiful. Now we're going to have to give up a shield against Sky Attack because it's going to do a lot of neutral damage. And yeah, this is it's a beautiful thing. We're going to go ahead and fast move down. And let's see what decides to come in. It's going to be the Medicham. They are so weak to Gardevoir that they're forced to come in with a Medicham to try to get my final shield. And we shield the Ice Punch, farm down. What is the final Pokemon? It's going to be a Pelipper, so that is going to be a good game as Shadow Ball here is going to one-shot the Pelipper. Boom. Down. It's just so good. Give shields to Gardevoir, everyone. We got Medicham on the lead again, so we're going to play this the same way. We're going to get this Medicham low and then swap into Pelipper. Now, last game, we saw them shield the first Thunderbolt. This game, this battler doesn't shield the first Thunderbolt. Spoiler alert. Sorry, we're going to go ahead and go for Thunderbolt right here. And it does a lot of neutral damage. You don't want to be going for Psycho Boost early as it does lower your attack. So we're going to go ahead and land the Thunderbolt. And now this is a very beautiful situation where we can keep our Defense Form Deoxys alive. And with our Psycho Boost right here that we're going to throw, it's going to get Medicham low enough where they might stay in with Pelipper to try to get to the Ice Punch. So we swap out right away and Wing Attack down, and they don't get to the charge move, which means Medicham is now out of the game. In comes an Altaria, which is perfectly fine by me because we can get to this Hurricane, and then we're going to unleash the Gardevoir once again as Hurricane does land for a lot of neutral damage against Altaria. This is fine. No shields, right? We're trusting in Gardevoir. Gardevoir with 2 shields is going to take it from here. Hopefully I can get to this Weather Ball. No, I don't get to it in time. That's okay. We're going to let the switch clock go down a bit. And then we're going to bring in the Gardevoir right here and fast move down. What's the final Pokemon? It's a Shadow Walrein. That's fine. Why? Because Shadow Charm does way more damage. We have 2 shields, and this is, I told you guys at the beginning, the only way to make Gardevoir really, really work is to hide it in the back and give it shields. And this is exactly the play that we have been doing, and it was so much fun to win. All right, we got Medicham once again on the lead. I said it was going to be Medicham leads the rest of this video. Just I saw them so much. But I just want to show you guys how you can play this. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. We're going to look to go for Thunderbolt, Psycho Boost, and then bail out into Pelipper to try to quick fast move down. We don't want to bail out into Gardevoir because then we could get ourselves trapped if there is a counter in the back like Registeel. So we go for the Thunderbolt, and then we're going to go for the Psycho Boost once they throw this next charge move. And then we're going to bail right into that Pelipper and look to get ahead on energy. Now they're going for straight for power-up punches, which is fine by me because it does way less damage than Ice Punch. So I go for the Psycho Boost here. It lands. I swap out into Pelipper, and 2 fast moves takes it out. Beautiful. Registeel comes in. This is exactly what a Pelipper safe swap does. If there is a counter in the back like a Registeel, which can do well, right? It has to land the Zap Cannon. But on the flip side, Pelipper stops all of that damage with just 1 shield. So we're looking very, very good. We're going to go ahead and look to go for as many Weather Balls as possible. And then we're going to go ahead, and I believe I decide to shield. Yeah, I do decide to shield this Zap Cannon. We're going to go ahead and try to get shields from this Registeel. Now, I don't know if my opponent is lagging right there. They might have well been, but I'm not going to stop, right? We just got to figure out what's happening. Oh, they're back. Okay, so maybe they didn't. We swap back in Defense Form Deoxys and counter down before they can get to another charge move. And the final Pokemon is going to be Shadow Swampert. So that's going to be a good game. Shadow Charm is going to take this one. So we're just going to go for Psycho Boost right here just to get an early shield. And then Pelipper is still very, very healthy. So our win condition here is with Gardevoir with Charm, but we could also have a win condition with Pelipper, because if they don't have Sludge Wave, then we should be able to get to 2 Weather Balls in time to close this game out. So we're already at 1. This is going to be forcing that final shield from the opponent, and then we're going to go for another one as quickly as we can. And we're going to go ahead and look to no-shield this. Again, our win condition is Charm and Gardevoir, so if they land Sludge Wave, so be it. But it's just a Hydro Cannon, which means we survive, and we get to this Weather Ball in time. And that is going to be a good game. Very well played. But this team put in so much work. Shadow Gardevoir is an absolute menace. You guys need to watch out for it. Once again, another Medicham lead. Play this exact same way. I can only show the battles that I had, right? I don't have infinite sets to do. This is all I saw, which is why I tried to show all the Sableye leads and stuff at the beginning, and then now all the Medicham leads here at the end. But we're gonna go ahead and go for Thunderbolt, and then Psycho Boost, and then swap out into Pelipper, right? That's gonna be what we're gonna do here. We're gonna go ahead and let all charge moves go through as well. I believe this is the 4th Medicham lead we had right here, so we're gonna go ahead and just play it exactly the same, right? Rinse and repeat, go for the Psycho Boost, and I love when I see repeatable matchups. Now this time they decide to shield, which is interesting, right? All these different little variables that they can do. So we go for the Weather Ball right away, and they decided to bank the energy and swap out into Whiscash right here to catch the charge move, which is fine. But because Whiscash came in, we're actually going to win the race to Hurricane compared to them going for Blizzard, which means we one-shot this Whiscash if they decide to no-shield it. Boom! Down goes the Whiscash. All right, what is the final Pokemon going to be? It's going to be, well, actually they came back in with Medicham, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and look to let this go as we can survive Ice Punch very easily and fast move down. And the final Pokemon, they decided to surrender. So that's going to be a good game. This was the team, everyone. Defense Form Deoxys, Shadow Gardevoir with Charm, single moved, and a Pelipper. It worked out so well. If you guys don't have Defense Form Deoxys, try your best to get it from raids this weekend, everyone. It is available. And if you don't have it after this, try Medicham on the lead. But this is such a fun team, and it all relies on letting Gardevoir sweep with shields. That's what's very, very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.